Hey everybody, it's Tara Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Whether you're a coach or a CEO, the success of your team and clients is based on your ability to deliver a consistent experience and guide them on the fastest path to results. This podcast will give you practical, real-life tips that you can use today to build your online experiences that get results and create raving fans. Why? So you can monetize your expertise and serve more people without adding more time or team to your business. If you're looking to uncover your $1 million framework, package it, and use it to scale, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Today I have Marie Mack with me, and I am so excited to have her on the show. Marie, welcome. And let's start us out by just giving us a little bit of your background, what you're into, and just a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. This is so much fun. I am Marie Mack. I have a business called First Cup to Close, and we specialize in business systems and scaling for clients, primarily those who are increasing their visibility using virtual events. I have a background as a Black Hawk helicopter pilot, where I used a whole bunch of different systems and processes and checklists, and then found my beautiful niche online, supporting online business owners as they're scaling. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay.
Wait a second. Back it up.
Hold the phone. Okay. So here's the thing. So one of the things that we love to talk about on the podcast is like how people take their sort of their job, their vocation, their sort of skill set and pivot and turn it into a business. So, okay. So I've got to hear more of this story of like, so you're a helicopter pilot. Were you in the military? Is that Black Hawk?
Yeah. So I was in the Army.
Okay. So you did that, and then you're like, okay, so now I'm going to take that skill set and then turn it into a business. So
yeah,
like walk us through how that happened, because I think one of the things that, we help people, package their expertise, right? So how do you take what you're really good at, your zone of genius, and turn it into a business? So walk us through that, because that is fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a really fun story. I always wanted to fly. I found a way in high school to have the Army pay for not only my first degree, but put me through flight school. And so I actually have an aeronautics degree, because everybody needs a random degree in the world. But I met my husband in the military. And when we got married, we decided to start a family. And when we did, we both came up on deployment orders. And at that point, we had to decide, are we both leaving our 6-month-old brand new baby boy, which he would have been healthy and fine with grandparents, or are one of us going to stay home? And so I decided at that point to resign my commission and to pretty much stop my career as a Black Hawk helicopter pilot, to stay home with my son. So we have 2 beautiful kids now. After we had our family, I'm kind of a go-getter. I kind of can't just stop. And so I have my 2 awesome kids. At the time that I started my business, they were 2 and 4. And I was like, there has to be some other way for me to fulfill this need of like impact and power and like all the cool things that happen with business. So I used my skills. I kind of started to tap into, what do I do really well? And it's systems and processes. It took me a little bit to find that. But once I figured out that online business owners have amazing and fantastic and beautiful ideas that they need to get out there in the world, but a lot of them are visionaries, and it's perfect. We need them. What they don't have is, how do I get to point B from point A? And I'm that kind of person that can create all the different steps. So thinking about all those things that happened before in my training, and then kind of moving it into the space of, I can create systems that actually get the visionary, amazing skills out into the world. And now for the last 7 years, I've seen business after business succeed because we're creating systems for them to be consistent in front of their clients, and then also increase their partnerships with other people. So Yeah, that's kind of that was like a nutshell of the story that,
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
my life.
But it's fascinating because I just love hearing how people transition from kind of the thing to something else and using your skills and gifts to be able to do that. Because as a pilot, I'm sure you have to be very methodical in terms of like checking the boxes and making sure everything is how it needs to be before you get up in the air. And so being able to take that and you do not want to be a visionary pilot. That probably is a bad idea where you're like, don't pay attention to the details. Probably
Right.
not good. And in fact, I don't want that to be my pilot.
No, no. The checklists are important at that point. Yes.
Right, right. And paying attention to the details is good. Awesome. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about how you show up with your clients. Do you have programs? Do you have done for your services? What kinds of things do you do to help them
Yeah.
with systems?
Most of them are done for you services. I have tried in the past. I'll say like I tried to do all the things they tell you to do, whoever the theys are out there in the world for the
And we're very
last
familiar with those days around
the
here.
days. Yes, the days. You know, I try to put together the course. I try to do this thing. I try to scale it. And what I kept finding is that when somebody is really intimate in your business, especially with systems and foundations and scaling, it creates a huge impact. And it's really hard for me to do that in the way that I do things if I have this group session. Now, I can talk about it with people, but at the end of the day, most of my clients I work one-on-one with. And then I have a team that allows me to scale out any of the processes that are happening. And then really provide that service as we're ongoing. Because once you create that system, somebody has to run it, either you as a solopreneur or building a team around that, so that consistency, and it's all about consistency in front of your audience, showing up for them. And the bigger picture is just making sure that our guests, our hosts, our people that are working with our clients love what they're doing every day. If they don't love doing blog posts, let's not do that. Like if you love being in front of your clients and you love having those conversations, put all those other things that have to keep business going to a team so we can implement them. So I love doing the one-on-ones. I probably have 5 clients that I work intimately with. And we have, another however many that our team supports. So it's a lot of fun.
So how do you know if somebody's ready to like build systems and process in their business? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I think if I'm going to be very honest, and hopefully this podcast is a great catalyst, is that whoever you are, business owner, you are ready right now to build a system, and you don't necessarily have to like hire somebody like myself to do it. It's just a matter of documenting what you're doing and doing it consistently throughout. That can be that you open up Loom. Loom is a free recording system, and just saying, hey, when I do a blog post, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. And creating those systems. Now, sometimes the systems like creating an entire funnel that is actually going to push into your launch and you're making, however many thousands of dollars from it, that might have to be honed in. And maybe that's the time where you really reach out to an expert like myself and say, what are all the pieces and what does the client journey look like? Because that client, from the time that they see that page, will indicate whether they're actually going to purchase at the end. So I find that people, even once they start really seeing the power behind a system that's consistent, it's time for us to have a conversation and just see how we can help.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. And because I think that there's sort of this, up until a certain, maybe revenue mark, you probably could do it yourself. In fact, a lot of people are probably doing it themselves. And so they're like, oh, I don't need systems. I don't need process because I just am the one doing it over and over again. The problem is, just in case you're one of these people, the visionaries, like you won't remember 2 months from now what you did. So just make a Loom video. She's totally right. But when they come to you, probably they don't even know what they don't know, right? Like it's sort of one of the things I was actually, I recorded an episode this morning, and it was, sometimes like you can't see the label outside the bottle, right? So you need somebody to help you not only figure out all the parts and pieces, but kind of get out of your own way in terms of setting things up, even if it's client journey. how to set up systems and process around that, like you may not even see it clearly because you're too close to it. So that's probably what you deal with most often, right? Is helping people just kind of get out of their own way. If they're too much in their head, or they're too close to their clients, or they're too close to their process, they can't see that there's another maybe streamlined approach to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And also not only like get out of your way, but the fact that when you are wearing every single hat that is in your business, you literally cannot put your focus on everything the way that a team member probably can. And it's beneficial for your business if you say, I need you to take this. And so people come to me and they say, Marie, I need you to do this, just do this, and let's come back to it. And they can be that final deciding factor, or they can watch the process from the outside. But when you have so much going on, and I find this overwhelm comes in, like they're just like, oh my gosh, I just can't, like whatever it is what it is. And our beautiful visionary people, they've been making it, right? Like they've cut and pasted and they started stacking stuff on. And then I say, okay, cool, show me what you've done so far. And they're like, well, there was this thing that I had over there, and there was this spreadsheet, and I got to find it. Give me just a second. And so I love that. Yes, I know. And I'm super thankful that they started, but the productivity and the ability for us to produce consistency for clients comes through that process. So if you're one of those beautiful people who has that spreadsheet somewhere that you need to find, put it somewhere.
I'm totally laughing because I can't even share this with my team, because my team is going to be like, yeah, you're that one. I'm always like, yeah, I got this thing. It's over here. Hang on, let me find it. And then like 2 days later, I'm like, I still can't find it because I was distracted with something else. So
I did not mean to call you out, but
no,
those are the
because
people, right?
But what's funny is that like I help my clients with systems and process, right? So like I could see their big picture and how it all fits together, but it is funny because I am much more on the visionary side and the strategy side. And so my team will chuckle when they hear our conversation. I'm totally the one. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. So give us a tool, a resource, a book, something that has impacted your journey to getting to where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to share the 4-Hour Work Week. It's been out there for a while. Tim, can't remember his name, but there you go. And when people think about that, they're like, there's no way I can do a 4-hour work week. Well, probably not, friend. No, maybe you can't. But that book allowed me to hone in on how I protect my time, which is one thing that I didn't have when I started. I wasn't protecting my time. So I had another interview earlier today as well. And in that space, she said, I loved your reply message. My auto reply comes back. And my team, each one of our email addresses has the same auto reply. And it's just one little thing that I got out of the 4-hour work week that allowed me to say, my time is important and precious. And I intentionally tell people who are reaching out to me that your time is important to me. So I'm going to put all my focus in, but it's going to be at this date and time. And so there were a lot of other things, just streamlining or outsourcing, or just a couple things that allowed me to find hours in my work week, which is great because when I can stop my day at a reasonable time and go and bake a cake with my daughter, yeah, I'm going to put up that auto reply and say, I will chat with you tomorrow, my friend. So that's just kind of one of those resources that, although you might not get to the 4-hour work week, there's still a whole lot of valuable information inside of there.
I love that. Yeah. One of the questions I usually ask when people tell me that they're a mom is because I have 3 children and, running multiple businesses and doing all the things, is like, what techniques and tips do you have? You just said a couple. For how to set those boundaries, because I think that as successful women business owners and moms, we really have to look at the world a little bit differently. So do you have any other insights that you would give to those parents who are out there who are sort of grappling with that?
Yeah, I think there is a fair amount of grace that has to be given to anybody that works in an online virtual space. This is my office, this little square that you see. I work here all day, every day. I'm in a room inside of my house. I never put shoes on. But at the same time, it also allows me, and if it right now, if my child walked in because they couldn't open the pickles, I would just do that. I can still be the person that I am in my business and have my children be nurtured in that same way. So I think I just present a space where, yeah, like things are going to happen. The dog's going to knock at the door for some reason, scratch or something, and the kids will come in. I do my best, but at the same time, giving yourself some grace that this is who you're going to be working with too, right? Like I'm presenting who I am to my clients during this time as well. And although I protect this as much as I can, if I need to take half a second because a child is crying, I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. And so I just think that it's a healthy way to start a relationship with a client when you can just say, this is good and you're important, so are they. And
it gives them permission, right? It gives them permission to also do those things. And I think that that's sort of, there's, COVID obviously was not great, but there were some gifts. And I think that was one of the gifts, is that it gave people more permission to show up authentically, instead of, like that, what was it, like the CNN ad where the guy is sitting there and his kids come in and he shuts the door, like it's all on camera. Like we don't do that anymore. And we don't have to pretend that we don't have a family and other things going on behind us. Mm-hmm. And so I love that. That's super helpful. Awesome.
Well, and it gives our power behind us, right? Like these are my why. This is my why. This is why I do this. This is why I work from home. This is why I choose this lifestyle, is because of them. And so when I can gift my clients the same, to say, oh yeah, how's your daughter today? Or how was the dog? Or, I know you were going to an appointment. How did it go? Like all of those things are not disconnected from the fact that we're super productive online. So
yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. All right, great. So where can our listeners find you to learn more about you, what you have to offer, and just be able to interact with you?
Yeah, absolutely. My biggest social media is LinkedIn. So I am Marie Mack at LinkedIn, which is kind of exciting. So you can find me there. I also have my website, which is firstcuptoclose.com. And First Cup to Close has a whole lot of information about how we serve people, including a couple freebies, including my Supercharge Your Productivity download. This is a 3-part training where I just help people create those systems in a really easy way using Trello. So I hope you find me there.
Awesome. All right. Very cool. Thank you so much for joining us today. And for all of you out there, make sure you check out all of her things that will be out on the show notes.
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.